Hello and welcome to Optimal Tarot. Well, foresight is 2020. Right now, I'm doing a general love read for the sign of Cancer. Hey, what is going on with all my Cancers out there? I hope everyone is doing well. Check it out, Cancer. Not sure if you guys caught the short video that I posted a few days ago, but I was asking people if they cared if I moved on from the previous series or not. Because I was doing a series called What Are They Hiding From You? And I did 3 videos. Those were very heavy reads. And I don't know. I had to go out of town, and while I was out of town, I felt like maybe I would do something else coming back because those reads were pretty heavy. Nobody responded. So I kind of felt like maybe nobody, it's not a big deal one way or the other if we do What Are They Hiding From You or not. So we're moving on to something different. And today, Cancer, we are doing past, present, and future. Well, we will take a look at your love situation, past, present, future, and then we will pull a card for some advice. Okay? Now, if for whatever reason some of you would still like to do the What Are They Hiding series, just shoot me a comment. Let me know. If there are enough comments or requests or people who do want to do it, then I will definitely do it. Okay? Now, outside of that, as we move on to this series, keep in mind, this is a general love read, so the messages may or may not resonate. If the messages do not resonate, please be sure to check your moon, Venus, and rising signs. Now, with all that being said, without any further ado, Cancer, let us take a look at your love situation. Okay? Past, present, and future. I'm going to put all the cards on the table and then we will read and clarify as needed. Spirit, show us past, present, and future. What is the past, present, and future? Show us, Spirit, past, present, and future for Cancer in love. Past, present, and future for Cancer in love. Spirit, show us past, present, and future for Cancer in love. Okay, we got some on the board already. We're just going to start with what we got. That's the past. Okay, this is present. And future. Ooh. Okay. And give me a card for the advice. Give me a card for advice, Spirit. Give us a card for advice. We have. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Moon card. All right. Well. Cancer, past, present, and future. Okay, let's talk about it. Up here, starting up here, that's going to be the past. Middle row is the present. Bottom row is the future. Okay, so in the past, we have the Seven of Swords, the Emperor, and the Hangman. You could have been dealing with an Aries. Okay, and in the past, I see trickery and deception. Okay, somebody was not very honest with this Seven of Swords right here. Okay, the Emperor tells me whoever this was is someone who was potentially very controlling. Okay, Hangman, I'm feeling like whatever the situation was at that time in the past, perhaps it was, I don't know, maybe like more of a hopeless situation or something you kind of felt like you couldn't do anything about. Okay. And or the Emperor could also speak to you being willing to take charge over the situation. Okay. But let's pull some more cards here for clarity so we can get a little more clarity on the past. That was just the High Priestess that showed its face. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Pisces, especially with that moon that popped out too. Okay, could be dealing with a Pisces, but let's see what falls here as we clarify. Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Swords, the Emperor, and the Hangman. Spirit, Clarify the Seven of Swords, the Emperor, and the Hangman. Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Swords, the Emperor, and the Hangman for Cancer in love in the past. We have Ten of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the Emperor again. Oof. Okay. Now, bottom of the deck here, we have the. I always get this. I have to count the always have to count the ones. This is the Eight of Swords here. Okay. All right. So now we got a little more insight here. Okay. This could be somebody you had a family with. All right. Maybe even speaking to a married situation with the Ten of Cups here. Okay. So perhaps you were dealing with someone that you had children with, or you were with someone who you thought was your happily ever after. All right. Knight of Wands. There's a good chance that this person was a 304. Could have been some cheating going on here with that Knight of Wands. Oh yeah, they ain't loyal to nobody. All right. And then we have the Emperor once again here clarifying the Hangman. So it makes me feel like I feel like whatever the case may be, okay, this could be speaking to your person, whoever you were with. Could have been the 304 here. Could have been the one that was deceptive here, okay? Betraying the family dynamic or the bond and the commitment that you guys had in place, okay? Because this tells me, there's a good chance maybe you were even living with this person, but you thought you had a happy situation, but somebody was definitely sneaky and cheating, okay? Cheating is the word that I'm hearing, especially, okay, for some of you. Cheating, Knight of Wands definitely is the ultimate cheater, okay? And for a time, you were probably all up in your head about it. You were probably all in your head about it in a mental prison, okay, with this Eight of Swords here. And the Hangman also telling us that for a time, you may not have, oh, and the Moon was right after this. Maybe you did not know, which is maybe why you didn't take action sooner. But with the Emperor covering the Hangman, it tells me that you did definitely take control of the situation. All right. So in the past, I'm seeing a connection where somebody potentially cheated. Whoever this is someone who you could have had children with or had maybe lived with. Okay. And perhaps you really thought that this was your person, the end all be all. Okay. Now, moving here now on to the present, Cancer. I'm seeing here the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Okay. I'm seeing here with the Wheel of Fortune that presently, whatever the situation is, it's got to be different from the past. Okay. You are looking for a situation, and with the Knight of Swords here, you're looking for things to change quickly, rapidly. Many of you, if you have not settled down with someone, I feel like this is representing your desire for commitment, okay, for marriage, for happily ever after, and at least maybe even living with someone. But I feel like you want a more stable, committed situation. Now, with this being in the present line, this tells me one thing. There's two storylines to come with this, Cancer. Okay. For some of you, this tells me that you left this situation, and once you were done with the past situation, your fortune changed quickly and you committed to someone else shortly after. Okay. If that's not your storyline, then for others of you, for those of you who may still be single in particular, okay, are looking for your fortune to change sooner than later because you are looking for something committed, something more stable. Okay. Now let's pull some cards here and see what else we can find out. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands, Spirit. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, okay, that was the Two of Cups. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands, Spirit. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands for the present situation of Cancer in love. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. We have King of Pentacles, King of Swords, Strength. Ooh, okay. Nine of Cups. Ooh. Okay. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo with the Strength card falling here. Okay. But we have the King of Pentacles clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The King of Swords clarifying the Knight of Swords. And Strength. Okay. So really what this tells me, Cancer, I feel like currently, like I said, you're looking for a change. Okay. And once again, these two storylines, these are the same two storylines. Some of you, shortly after whatever this situation was, okay, moved on rather quickly, okay, into something else that was very committed. And this shows up here with the King of Pentacles, and also down the road here, we had the Four of Wands, okay? So for those of you who did move on quickly, this is what it's showing here, that as soon as you left whatever this situation was, then you moved on, fortunes changed, your love dynamic, your love life changed, and you did find somebody who was stable, who was committed, who was reliable, okay? And there's a good chance too that this person is well off financially as well, okay? Now, for the those of you who don't resonate with that, for the others who are in the single, okay, this is just basically reflecting your desire to change the dynamic to be with a person like that, okay? King of Swords, clarifying the Knight of Swords is letting me know you ain't taking no mess from nobody, okay? If somebody even, if there's even a hint, if there is even a hint of bullshit in the air, you cutting them off, Cancer. Cancer has no time for fake ones, okay? So King of Swords is letting me know we done with dealing with jokers like this up here, okay? Now, the Strength card, okay? Now, for those of you, maybe some of you have moved on to be with the Leo. Maybe you were dealing with the Leo, okay? Maybe the person that you are committed to could be a Leo, for those of you who did move on to a commitment, okay? And I feel like it's a strong, stable commitment, okay? And I feel like this also speaks to the strong level of attraction and the bond in and of itself. You have a very strong bond, okay? Now, for those of you who are single, I feel like this is you having to be strong to hold out and hold on for what you really want. Okay, so this present storyline it's got two storylines here. Okay, so those of you, for some of you, you did move on to someone else, and it seems to be a very strong committed situation. Others of you, you are looking to change that dynamic. You ain't taking no mess. You're not going back to something that you dealt with in the past or something like you dealt with in the past. Okay, and you have to be strong to hold out for what you really want, because you're not dealing with any of the BS anymore like you did in the past. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's move on here to see what we have for the future. Okay, now the future is showing here the Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun. Once again, Leo is showing up here with the Sun card. Okay, now, this Three of Swords, that does not look good. I don't like to see that, especially in a future placement. Okay. So we will pull some cards to clarify exactly what that means. Okay. At first glance, I'm seeing that something comes to light. You get clarity. on a situation about love. Okay, and I'm hoping this isn't saying that your person, you know what? Okay, so this is showing that in the future there could potentially be a heartbreak where someone you were interested in, someone who made you happy, who you felt like you could give love to, may disappoint you and break your heart. Okay, that's what it could be for some of you. All right, but I am going to pull some cards for clarity and we will see what comes up here. All right. Okay, let's see what we got for the future. Spirit, clarify the Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun for Cancer in the future. Love, for love and Cancer in the future. Spirit, clarify the Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun for Cancer in love in the future. Okay? Clarify the Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun for Cancer future in the love. We have Five of Cups, the Empress, and the Sun again. Wow. Like the Sun clarifying the Sun, man. You can't, oh man. And bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. All right. So there we go. Yeah, there is definitely trickery and deception here. Okay, right off, what I'm feeling is there is a chance, okay, there is a chance that this future storyline here has something to do potentially with the past. Okay. You may find out that whoever you were dealing with in the past has a child or had a child elsewhere. Okay. Yeah, somebody's lying and cheating in the future is what I'm seeing here. Like that comes to light. Okay. So what I am seeing though, okay, for this situation up here, some of you may have been married to this person. Okay. You may become aware of a child that this person had while you guys were together. Okay. Now, for those of you who moved on to a new situation, there might be a chance that this is the person, okay, who has betrayed you. And I'm only saying that because of the Leo showing up twice, okay? If there are any Cancers dealing with a Leo, okay, this Leo has a child somewhere else. I feel like that message is for Leos in particular, okay? But the three of Swords and then being clarified by the Five of Pentacles, okay? So this is definitely heartbreak and then someone leaving, making you feel left out in the cold. Or this is you leaving someone after they broke your heart, perhaps because you found out about somebody else who potentially there is definitely a child that was conceived here, okay? And I really feel like with this Sun showing up twice, this is someone who made you very happy. Definitely a Leo. This is in fact emphatically talking to those of you who are dealing with Leos in particular. Okay. But beyond that, this is someone who made you really happy, and then with the Sun here twice, it's just really showing that this is something that came to light. Okay. Keep in mind that when we first did our reading, when we started the reading, the moon was at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that lets us know that there was an element of the unknown here present in your love dynamic. Okay, so I'm feeling like somewhere in the mix, a child was conceived behind your back and it comes to light, and that could be very heartbreaking. Okay, now the advice: Two of Wands. You got to make a choice. You got to choose a road. You have to make a decision. Okay. Now, what kind of decision you have to make? I guess that really breaks down to whatever your personal situation is, because this is a general love read. So depending on who cheated, or if you went back to the person who cheated, or maybe you were thinking about going back to that person, and then you found out about this child, You may have even found out that while you broke up, while you were away from this person, that they conceived the child. And that could even break your heart if you were thinking about going back. As you see, we jump down this rabbit hole, and then there are several different storylines that come to light. So you know what your story is. Okay. But basically, if I'm just going to break it down and summarize it, in the past, you were dealing with somebody who you thought you had something significant with, and they betrayed you and cheated. Okay. Now, in the present, some of you quickly moved on to another commitment that is very strong. Others of you are not taking any mess, and you're holding out and you're waiting for a strong and stable commitment. In the future, I do show someone betraying your trust once again, and this time it involves a child being conceived. Okay. Now, the particulars on who was responsible for conceiving this child, how, when, and this, that, and the other, that breaks down into several different storylines. But the very basics is what I just explained, which brings us down here to the Two of Wands, you needing to make a choice. All right. So let's see what we can find out here. Let's clarify this Two of Wands here for the advice for Cancer. Spirit, clarify the Two of Wands for the advice of Cancer as it relates to love. Clarify the Two of Wands for Cancer as it relates to love. Clarify the Two of Wands for Cancer as it relates to love and the advice. Okay. These cards all over. We have Page of Cups, Six of Swords. Wow. Two of Wands. Wow. Bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups. Man, I think it's quite interesting how in clarifying these cards, we have repeat cards. So that's letting us know there's definitely a message that Spirit is trying to get through to you. Okay? And I really do feel like you are going to have to make some sort of decision. And it could have something to do with that past person. You may be in a dilemma on should you go back to the past person or should you move on to calmer waters with this Six of Swords. Okay. Page of Cups. Okay. If someone apologizes. Okay. Maybe for a small portion of you, maybe Cancer, you are the one that conceived the child outside of a union, and you're needing to apologize, okay? But what I'm seeing here is, okay, in light of everything that happened, there is a great chance that you may get an apology, and then that may make you feel like you have a dilemma on if you should give this another chance or not. The Six of Cups can definitely speak to reconciliation, okay? But I'm seeing here that basically the advice is make up your mind, okay? And I wish I had better advice than that. But with the Two of Wands showing up twice, that really shows me that you're going to be in a dilemma. With the Page of Cups here, this tells me that this is not going to be a significant, whatever you're getting out of this, okay? Is the apology enough? And in terms of what this person has to give, I'm not seeing it be much, okay? So it's like, do you move on or do you continue to deal with what you're getting? That is the question. And it all comes down to, what do you believe that you are worthy of? What do you believe that you're worthy of? If you believe that you are greater than whatever this other person has to offer you, if you feel like you're greater than being cheated on and all this other mess that's happened, move around, okay? It can't be any worse than this. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you decide to do. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time for Optimal Tarot. Peace and love.